At home, it means that police don't show up with guns in their hands just because you're black. And for school, I think it's that all kids should have the right to go to the same school. And for life, you should keep protesting for the right of black people.
BLM to me means recognizing black people as descendants of slavery in the United States. It means recognizing that history continues to affect our lives today. It means recognizing things like voter suppression and police brutality.
Black Lives Matter is about equity for all. It's about liberation for everybody.
It means to make sure everybody's life matters and make sure everybody's treated with equality.
It means empathy is like the highest value.
It means a fight for equality, a fight for justice, and a fight so that no one is discriminated against or treated unfairly just because of the color of their skin.
It means learning, listening, growing, and acting in ways small and big to dismantle systemic racism and white privilege.
Every black life is as valuable as any other.
Our families.
That Black Lives Matter.
And that as Asian Americans, we should celebrate blackness and look for ways the world should be more fair.
Black Lives Matter is the truest expression of democracy.
To me, Black Lives Matter means to stand up against injustice and racism.
When I think of Black Lives Matter, I think of the black and brown women who founded it. And it makes me think that when women of color get together, anything is possible.
Black Lives Matter means to me equity, equality, justice for people of color.
At school with our youngest students, the guiding principles of Black Lives Matter allow us to appreciate the strength and the wisdom of black and brown folks and communities.
It brings together the people of color community worldwide, uniting us to focus on the goals of racial equality and justice.
Doctors, lawyers, nurses, engineers. We can't let them be shot because Black lives do matter.
Black Lives Matter to me is a call to action. It means we are uplifting our most marginalized voices in society. It means we're really staying committed to anti-racist practices, anti-racist beliefs, and actions of anti-racism, working towards the goal of racial justice.
Black lives do not mean less than like a person with like white or like fair skin, because everyone's life is just as equal as another person's life.
And everyone should be treated the same. It doesn't matter what you look like because looks don't matter. It's all on the inside. And black people should be treated the same as any other person.
What people need to understand is that Black lives also matter.
What Black Lives Matter means to me is an acknowledgement by non-whites that the socioeconomic disparities that exist today are the result of structural racism. And until structural racism is addressed wholeheartedly, Black lives will never really matter.
In this school, it means hearing our children discuss why it is that there will be no justice and no fairness and no equality, and all lives will not matter until Black lives matter.
As a white person on an anti-racist journey, I appreciate the collaborative nature of the Black Lives Matter movement, and I appreciate being in community with my child's school, where we say Black Lives Matter everywhere.
Respect, care, compassion, love for the black community, understanding, allowing us to feel seen, allowing us to feel acknowledged, and allowing us to feel respected for all the years that was not the case. So see us, know us, understand us, believe us, and just treat us as equal.
Black Lives Matter for me is a movement where any age could join to fight for black lives because we're all the same on the inside. We're all humans and we all have hearts.
Black Lives Matter is a mother's plea and an auntie's plea. Please let our babies make it home safely every night. Protect our future leaders because their Black Lives Matter.
Listening to, believing, valuing, and lifting the voices of Black children, families, and teachers.
For me, Black Lives Matter means to advocate for people whose humanity has been denied at times in our history.
Black Lives Matter to me means that Black children are precious. I want Black students in my classroom to feel known and loved.
In our day-to-day interactions with the world, we have a responsibility to interrupt racism when we see it, even when it makes us uncomfortable to do that.
For us, Black Lives Matter means standing in solidarity with our Black friends, neighbors, and community
It means doing the work and learning more, having conversations about race with our children. It means really listening and making space for perspectives that are different from our own. And most importantly, it means stepping up and taking action when we witness injustice in the world around us.
I think Black Lives Matter means standing up for Black people and basically all people of color.
I asked my 6-year-old to tell me about Black Lives Matter, and he said, yes, of course. It's when we treat each other fairly, and it doesn't matter the color of our skin. We treat each other the way we would like to be treated.
Black Lives Matter means to me that Black people have the inalienable right to live freely and fiercely without fearing oppression and systemic racism and violence.
Black Lives Matter is a matter of the head and the heart to me, thinking about how, using my head to think about the structures of this country and how they have disproportionately affected Black people going back hundreds of years.
What it means to me is that you need to be able to accept people who they are and live with each other.
Black Lives Matter is important because everybody should be treated fairly and equally.
Black Lives Matter is important to us because I'm Black and so is most of my family. So I feel that all Black people should be treated equally.
Black Lives Matter means Trayvon's life matters. It means my students' lives matter. And it means we have a lot of work to do.
That Black people should have the equal rights in America and in our school.
It means to me art and an opportunity for art. As you can see here, I've made my own costume for Black Lives Matter, and I love it, and I'm going to wear it to school for the rest of the week.
Black lives are important because you shouldn't kill somebody about what their skin color. We're all humans and we should all be treated the same. And it means a lot to me because we focus on Black Lives Matter. And it's not just for this week, it's an everyday focus thing.
A week of action, a year of purpose, my daily commitment. Black Lives Matter.
In our family, in our home, in our community, Black lives have always mattered. Mattered is the minimum. Black lives should be embraced. Black lives should be uplifted. Black lives should be protected. Black lives should be celebrated. Black lives have always mattered.